So I think, yeah, I've been in the market, in the business for maybe 2 years, two decades right now, almost 20 years, in different kinds of roles, right? But I've always felt that whether it is whether you want to call it a triumph or success, is always in terms of how many people do you touch, what do you change. It is not just about the financial aspects of a success that I count, at least not for me, neither for the company. Maybe some of these things do end up becoming financially quite good for the company, but I think the most important ones are always things that touch more people. For example, over the last year and a half, I think we may have almost touched 50,000 lives, 50,000 livelihoods by the three-wheelers that we sell. Every three-wheeler, electric three-wheeler that we sell is actually used by a family to make their daily livelihood. So that is a big achievement in my opinion, right? I mean, I'm sure there are bigger achievements that are happening around the world, but smaller contribution from our side, this is one big thing. Similarly, while we were doing Zoom car moved away from a owned car kind of a concept to a car sharing. We had almost 25,000 hosts who were essentially earning using their car, right? It Originally, a car is considered a liability for a person. Now a car was becoming a earning member of the family. So these are the kinds of achievements which I believe go a long way, touches a lot of livelihoods and lives. That is what makes a lot more impact. So in the last year, we launched Ultra cargo vehicle as well as the Ultra passenger vehicle. Both are three-wheelers in the passenger and cargo segment. So if you really look at it, last mile mobility in India is changing significantly and very fast, right? India
Yes.
is the largest three-wheeler manufacturer right now, even way ahead of China. So there seems to be a huge opportunity, and electrification of this segment makes a lot of sense because of the total cost of ownership that comes down. There is a significant reduction in the cost of ownership for a person who's driving a ICE vehicle and an electric vehicle. There is very high difference. So this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity which we saw in the market. We looked at what could be the right kind of features that will go into a vehicle like this. We zeroed in on a few features, like for example, in a cargo vehicle, they always wanted a range of 100 plus on full load, and the right kind of gradability, the load carrying capacity, etc. On a passenger vehicle, the range requirement was even further, 150 plus. So, and looking at that and deciding that you use the same aggregates, same battery, same motor, same transmission, multiple things on on these two versions of the vehicles. What actually happens is you get benefits of economics. So we chose the same aggregates and went into design using that concept of expecting these kinds of features to come out. For example, the gradability and the range that we were expecting from both of these. Built out and tested the vehicle. So that is one of the things that I think we do rigorously. We have tested the vehicle all across lakhs of kilometers, even in the coldest climates in Manali and the hottest climates in Rajasthan. Right. So put the vehicles through all the tests before launching it to the customer, so that there are no failures in the field. The customer loses livelihood when the vehicle does not move. So we wanted to ensure that the vehicle never has a downtime. So we did that. The amount of validation and testing that we have done, that is what helped us succeed in the market. India's last mile mobility adoption of electric vehicles is way faster. I think it's only behind China, but really really fast, right? So if you just count both e-rickshaws and the regular L5 auto rickshaws together, we almost have 60% plus of the vehicles that are sold, three-wheelers that are sold in India are electric, right? And similarly, on the two-wheeler side, most of the vehicles that are being used for delivery and for ride sharing, those are again starting to become electric. Now, this adoption is really because of the economics, right? It makes sense for the customer. It makes sense for the company. It makes sense for the environment, and also it makes sense for the whole economy, right? As India, we import a lot of fossil fuel. The amount of
Yes.
fossil fuel that we import in India is maybe the highest. So, and that is partially the reason, right? We are able to move over to electric faster. There are government incentives also to make sure that this happens. And in applications like this, applications like delivery, like last mile mobility, like ride sharing, these are the places where more kilometers are run in a day. A Swiggy or a Zomato driver runs anywhere between 150, 120 to 160 kilometers in a day, right? A normal auto, that electric vehicle that we sell, it runs again 120 to 160 kilometers in a day. That is the amount of kilometers that are run uh, in a, like for example, in a month it's almost like 4,000 odd kilometers, and in a year it's almost like 50,000 kilometers. That is the number of kilometers that are run by a normal individual's two-wheeler in maybe 5-6 years, right? So that is the
Okay.
difference. So when the number of kilometers are higher in mobility, last mile mobility, that is the reason why electric becomes a lot more attractive. And that is the real secret behind why it is being adopted so fast also. So I believe, automotive industry itself is a place where I think people start thinking that, every company will do everything on their own. That's not real. That's not true, right?
Yes.
In a ecosystem, you will see that there are the tier one, tier two suppliers. There is an OEM. There is a dealership. There is a service network. There are
Yes.
people employed in all this. There are other service providers who are there. So it is just a game of collaboration. And for example, in a commercial vehicle, financing partners, right? So if you really look at the kind of partnerships that we have done, or the way, I'm a strong believer in partnerships, and I really believe that that is what makes a lot more sense, because everybody cannot do everything. So you work with a lot of partners. We have done partnerships, technical partnerships with our suppliers, where they provide us state of the art technology in terms of whether it is electronics, whether in terms of battery management systems. Similarly, we also have partnerships with people who provide us financing, um, new age financing partnerships, right? For example, if you can lease out the battery separately, the vehicle can be leased out. The batteries is a batteries provided as a service. There are people who provide mobility as a service who are our customers. There are dealership networks who are partners with us. There are also partners who help us sell. So I believe that innovation and this segment really needs a lot more partnerships and collaboration, which is what will help us, rather than trying to do all of this. So you'll have experts at each of this, rather than trying to be an expert of everything. Try to be an expert. For example, we as a company try to be an expert at making good vehicles, while there are good people who know how to finance them, how to sell them, how to create new technology, all that, right? An OEM's job is of an integrator. A lot of changes that are going to happen, right? The innovation and the product life cycles are actually shrinking, which means that many products get outdated pretty fast, right?
Yes.
You'll have new product 3 years, and you already, whatever changes that you've already seen, like I'll just talk about the last mile mobility here again. You have seen that scooters have become a lot more electric. Three-wheelers have become electric. One segment which is not done really so much of electric is on the electric bikes, electric uh, motorbikes, right? Motorbikes are still most of them are ICE. I believe
Exactly.
there's a disruption expected there. And then
Okay.
all of these vehicles now, all the vehicles that we sell, the three-wheelers that we sell, are the Grease Ultra, is a connected vehicle, which means that it is collecting data about the vehicle, about the use case, about the location, all that on a every 5 seconds basis, right?
Yes.
Now you're getting so much of data to understand how a vehicle behaves at a different point in time. So that data is very useful. We are collecting that, we are analyzing it, we are trying to see how can we avoid a vehicle breaking down any day, right? Any safety incident. For example, you'd have seen a lot of these vehicle fires happening, etc. When you already know that the data that is coming in is telling you that there is something wrong with the battery, there is a way to mitigate that already, right? If there are if that data can be analyzed real time, if the data can actually throw up triggers to ensure that any of that does not happen, right? Any safety incidents, or there is a way to maintain this in advance, you can always ensure that the vehicles are maintained. These are all opportunities that you can use. And also charging, right? At this point in
Yes.
time, vehicles still take a lot more time than a petrol fuel vehicle, right? Electric vehicles take a lot more time to recharge. So now, if there is a way to change that significantly, of course, there are multiple ways of doing it. There is a swapping and a fast charging. Nobody's going to agree on whether swapping or fast charging, which one is the right one. I always believe that there are horses for courses, which means that some cases there may be a swap which is beneficial, and some cases it is fast charging. So if there are ways of charging this faster, charging batteries faster, while you keep monitoring the data of that battery, because you need to charge it at the right kind of temperatures and to ensure that the chemistry of the battery is taken care of. So if that kind of data is used, there'll be a lot of advancement in that, and the vehicle or the technology will move forward very fast. So I still don't think I'm so much of an expert to give advice, but certainly, I would really think that approach all these opportunities with a lot of humility, right? Many of these
Okay.
things, for example, when you are living in a very different world than what your customers many times are. For example, I don't drive a three-wheeler myself, right? So I don't know
Okay.
what a three-wheeler owner goes through in first
Mm.
person. So I need to go learn. I need to go talk to customers. I need to understand what they go through. How is a three-wheeler sold to a customer? I need to listen to a dealer. I need to listen to a financier. What are their challenges? So similarly, any of these new opportunities that are coming in, right? Technology for sure is something that you may have a better hang on, but taking that to the market, go to market, is very different many times, right? You need to understand the nuances. So please be open, please be ready for changes, ready to be corrected many times by the market, many times by the market. uh, Many times, you are taught humility by the market. So
Yes.
rather than letting the market teach you, please be humble yourself, so that you can learn and grow fast.